Well, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about this, but Laura Luna was on Rogan yesterday and claimed that she has now seen evidence of alien life in her position in Congress. Now, I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever looked this up before, but like, why don't you go ahead and go like Google search Laura Luna bikini, okay? Because this is how I knew who she was. I was like, wait a minute, is that the chick that was this one? Is that this girl? Because all right, I figured if I was going to be learning about the status of alien life in the United States, this is probably not the image of the person I thought would be telling me about it. But listen, dude, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Tell me about the things that you saw that I don't know about. Okay, so we're gonna look at that. We're also going to look at this dude who was apparently running for governor of South Carolina on the Democratic side, and he is apparently getting arrested while in his underwear and calling himself God and Superman. Now, listen, I am not going to say that I can diagnose people from the comfort of my studio, but something tells me if you pull his blood, there might be crystal meth in it. I'm just saying, like, it's possible, right? It is possible. I've seen this movie before. Usually, that is what we're looking at. And then if we have time, we're going to look at, everybody's favorite, daughter of a governor. And we'll look at Tim Waltz's stupid daughter talking nonsense again, if we have time, because she had some really interesting things to say about what's going on in DC. So let's rock and roll. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I appreciate you guys doing that. And we are going to rock and roll. Go ahead and like the video. Let's do this thing. All right. So here we go. Let's listen to Laura Luna teach us about why we should believe that interdimensional beings are visiting Earth.
Like what happened?
To I guess break it down in simple terms is that I think that some of the tech that exists, that whatever these things have, these energy things have,
energy things? What do you mean?
Well, they call them interdimensional beings. I think that they can actually operate through the time spaces that we currently have, and that's not something that I came up with on my own. That's based on stuff that we've seen. That's based on information that we've been told. And then also, too, I think that there's this historical aspect of, this gets into the deeper theories and concepts of religion. And I think the history that we currently know, and that kind of spins off into another topic of, you have the modern day Bible, you have this aspect of Bibles or books of the Bible that have been removed that explain and kind of touch on these topics. And I think that we're in a time and age where you have such a vast amount of information that we have access to via social media, via your cell phone, via the internet. And so it's really changing the way that we understand, the origins of life and the spiritual reality that we know.
And I'm sorry, what he asked you was, how do you know that they're interdimensional beings? She's like, well, I'm not going to answer that question. It's like, because nothing that she said answered that question at all. You're like, you said something about social media and access to the internet and something or other, and then missing chapters of the Bible. Okay, like, what are we talking about, dude? Okay, this is my thing. You guys know where I stand on religion. I annihilate people that attack people because of their religious beliefs. That is my biggest pet peeve on earth. You know what I mean? But when we're talking about, the specifics around what is flying around in our airspace, potentially kidnapping us off of the planet, taking us into spaceships, and then dropping us back off, or mutilating cows, or doing crop circles, or any of the other stuff that you've heard, or the mile-wide craft that flew over Phoenix, or the Rendlesham Forest one that we just did, and we're like, okay, so what's the nature of these things? Like, they keep on coming to our nuclear bases. Okay, I'm concerned about that. Okay, I'm concerned. They're going to our nuclear bases, and there's shooting. I don't know if you guys have gone on and actually finished the Rendlesham Forest one. You can find that on BitChute. Search Mouthy Buddha Rendlesham Forest. They're shooting lasers into our nuclear weapons, like they're tracking them. Okay, there's another story of like a crazy credible witness that had a video or a stills image of a video of a craft coming in and then shooting one of our ICBM tests out of the air. Okay, like, that sounds like a topic that has nothing to do with the Bible, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to do with ghosts. I don't think it has to, like, when Tucker Carlson says, like, I think we're talking about angels and demons. I'm like, what? We're talking about metal machines, things that are built out of metal. You know, I assume that maybe some of them do not know enough about this topic to realize how dumb that conversation sounds to people like me and Rogan and like other people who have been paying attention to this for 20 years. But you're like, angels and demons, dude. It's metal. Like, I'm not saying there's no angels and no demons. I'm saying, like, you're talking about crafts. Like, these are advanced technology. It's like what we would do if you give us 500 years or 1,000 or 1,000,000 years. Anyway, so let's see how she does later in the conversation.
When you say interdimensional beings, that they know that these are interdimensional beings, how do they know that?
Based on testimony, would be based on witnesses that have come forward. But what I can tell you is
the witnesses just were told that they were interdimensional?
that they've seen things. And what I can tell
boom, you're all witnesses saw things and then knew that they were interdimensional. Like, listen, I want to be perfectly clear what I'm saying. I'm not saying the witnesses are lying. I'm not saying these things didn't happen. What I'm saying is, like, I can't stand when people speak with certainty or they come to stupid conclusions. Okay. Like, there's very good possibility that they're interdimensional beings, but how do you know? And it's like, well, witnesses said that they saw them open portals and then come out of it. You're all, how does that mean interdimensional? Like, well, you know, it does. I mean, listen to what she says, but I'll respond to it in a second.
Tell you without getting into classified conversations is that there have been incidences that I believe where very credible people have reported that there have been movement outside of time and space.
How the fuck would anyone know that? I mean, believe me, I'm not saying that's not accurate. I think they probably do fold time and space, and that's how they make, you know, these gigantic long distances. But like interdimensional, unless I'm misunderstanding what interdimensional means, we're talking about different realities is what I understand. We're talking about like completely different realities, not like they are so far away in like a straight line that they fold time and space to be able to, you know, go through a wormhole or whatever.
That's very vague.
Yeah. So, look.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Look. Have I seen a portal open? No. Have I seen a spaceship? Personally, no. Have I seen evidence of this? Yes. Have I seen photo documentation of aircraft that I believe were not made by mankind? Yes. Is there historical significance to this? Yes. Is there multiple events that go back to, I would argue, maybe even before the time of Christ that have documented this in text? Yes. So do I believe that the government has access to certain technology? Yes, to an extent. And I believe that certain contractors potentially have back engineered this tech. I think that that's what can explain the advancements that we're seeing. But I also believe that this is a dangerous level of hidden information from the American people, because if you have an aspect of the federal government, which I can tell you, I, with two other members of Congress, were denied access to information at Eglin Air Force Base pertaining to whistleblowers because of the fact, and we can get into that story and what happened at Eglin in a second, but we were denied access and told that we don't have security clearance or the read-in authority on a special access program. That's a problem, because I'm supposed to represent and be an investigative body, and you have then people who are unelected that are operating basically in secrecy, and that's a problem.
I agree with literally everything that she said except for the interdimensional beings based on witness testimony. Just so we're clear, like everything she said, yeah. And I struggle with the stuff about like, oh, there's like stuff pulled out of the Bible that somehow relates to this, you know? But nonetheless, everything she said right there, I agree with completely. There's no reason there should be secret stuff. I'm sure that they probably have back engineered this technology in one way or another. I think that there's tons of photo evidence and video evidence of things that you're like, yeah. I mean, obviously, I think I've made that clear where I stand on that. So anyway, it's just I don't know. It could be the source, dude. I got to be honest. It could be the source, you know, or it's like, really, you know, she's very beautiful though. I will acknowledge that just for the record. But nonetheless, you know, okay. So I want to show you guys this though. Hang on. So this is so crazy, dude. All right. So let's go ahead and let's just refresh this and let's take a look at at this story. Okay. So this is who this person is right there. Oh, okay. Of course. Hey, why not ads? Why not ads, right? So while the newly released dash cam footage shows the Democrat's choice to run for governor in South Carolina getting arrested recently in his underwear while swearing using the N-word and referencing himself as both God and Superman. Married father of four Mullins McLeod, 53, faces calls from his own party to step down from the gubernatorial race that he formally entered Monday after video emerged a day later of his bizarre arrest just months earlier, according to, so prominent attorney was stopped in downtown Charleston while yelling at the top of his lungs, wearing only underwear and shoes, according to a police report, which suggested he showed signs of a typical individual under the influence of a stimulant narcotic. Yeah, I would say so. So there's nothing left to do except to watch it right now. All right, let's go. Let's see. So this is your Democratic pick for the governor race.
Bill being my fat best when I wake up in the morning.
William,
You right it yourself, Joe.
William, can I talk to you?
That's gonna give you some grace. But no slack. You ain't getting off your bitch. My guess is your crimes are against humanity. Hey, Terry Matthew.
Mr. McLeod.
My flames gonna start to slow down a little bit.
McLeod. How do
Man,
spell
you
your last-
motherfuckers, man. So what happened was, in a lawsuit known as a class action, okay, which class is stupid, the class members, right, don't get the money. It's everybody at the top. Now I know why Ron Motley's no longer with us. And no, I don't think the devil, well, the man didn't take him out. Ron has so much pain in him. The last time I saw him before he died, his eyes were just yellow.
Good God, man. It's not over. I'm just saying. Meth is a hell of a drug, man. That is wild.
Yellow. I know what that is. Because I know what that bottle will do to you. That didn't make Ron Motley an unjust man. That made him one of the most just and pure people, humans, to ever walk this earth.
Like, I honestly, I wonder when I watch these videos, like, what is going on in their brain as they start firing out all of these ideas that are just like kind of spitting into their frontal cortex or whatever. You know, it's like, one minute, well, so there's a thing called class action lawsuit, and the class is stupid. But it's not the people who need the money to get the money, it's the top, it's the elite. And listen, Frank, last time I saw him before he died, his eyes were yellow. And I know what that means. The bottle will do that to you. And you're like, what does that have to do with what you were just talking about? Like, how are you connecting those two ideas? Class action lawsuit, class is stupid, the elites get the money, the lower class people get nothing. Your boy had yellow eyes, and you know that the bottle does that to him. You're all like, what's going on in his brain? I'm sure he's about to go somewhere else.
He was just tormented inside. Ron, I'm not here to judge you, my friend. I love you.
Yeah, I would say that if anybody elects this dude to anything, they should really get their head checked. But what we're gonna do right now is let's take a look at what this guy looks like when he is sober. All right, here we go. Rock and roll. It took a while to find this because everywhere you look, there is nothing but this dude, you know, in the car. So they had to go to like the end of one of these videos. Now let's listen. This is him sober.
Of the state.
There is not a political bone in my body, which may sound odd considering I'm running to be our state's next governor. But
He's all, listen, the only bone that's in my body is the one that I get after I smoke meth with my homosexual friend. I'm sorry, I can't help myself, dude. Okay? I can't help myself. I'm sorry. It had to be said.
trust me when I tell you, there's not a political bone in my body.
The South Carolina Democratic Party releasing a statement saying McLeod is navigating profound challenges and should focus on his mental and emotional well-being instead of campaigning for governor. And just
yeah, I think that is the understatement of the century. Like, I would say this race is over for you, buddy.
Okay, so
you know? So let's close it out real quick with everybody's favorite, gubernatorial daughter. This is you got what's her Hope? I think it's Hope Waltz. Pretty sure it's Hope Waltz. But yeah, we've covered her before. She always has great ideas. I have not watched this yet, and I can't wait to cover it. Let's go.
Okay, so on the topic of book talk, as well as Trump's bitch baby.
Okay, also, I've never heard someone who does a more pronounced way of doing that kind of talk. Like, on the way that I am talking like this, I just think I need to tell you that this is the most obnoxious way that humans can talk to each other. And she's the worst of all time at that.
Wussy scaredy cat behavior in DC. It got me thinking of a book I read in college. I think it was when I was at the University of Minnesota. It was Locking Up Her Own by James Foreman Jr. And it talks about what led to, arguably, you should also read the new Jim Crow and then go into this one along with like a million in between. But that's just 1-2.
Bitch, you haven't read a million books, okay? Don't even fucking try to tell me that you've read all of those books unless they were fed to you in class and you had to learn whatever was it. Like, no, this is not what a person who reads all the time sounds like. Okay, I know a lot of them. They don't talk like this.
You kind of get it. But like modern mass incarceration of like Black men, and it talks about DC and the war on drugs and how all of that led up to what we're now seeing. Also note the crime rate in DC is at the lowest it's been in 30 years.
Wait, who's the president right now? Hey, who's the president right now? Hey, how is the crime rate? How was the crime rate during, I don't know, Biden? You know, like, are we really? How about you compare it to what it was like before Trump took office?
But this is a good book to kind of get like a larger viewpoint of this sort of stuff. And it's always been like one form of another of like the US locking up people that aren't like rich and white and men.
Oh my God.
And like we're very much seeing that continuation go on. I would argue also with what we see with Trump, it's...
Hey, do you think that it could have to do with it more having to do with people not being rich, ending up in jail, than not white? I'm just saying, do you know a lot of white people who commit a ton of crimes and don't end up in jail? This is like, I can't, dude. I honestly can't. That's enough for today. I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Bye-bye.